Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another Live Wire Sports Media update. And this is day 2 of the Washington Commanders training camp, which has started out. I did a video yesterday about day 1 and what it has looked like. And looks like today they have ramped up a little bit. Now, WSA dropped some knowledge of what went on around training camp. We're going to take a look into that before we dive in to some other aspects of training camp.
All right, switching gears here. WUSA 9 is your source for all things Washington Commanders, and as the official TV station of the Burgundy and Gold, we are committed to bringing you unbeaten access to players and coaches.
By the way, this was not planned.
This wasn't planned, but it worked.
Feeling it. Yeah, it's working. Our Chick Hernandez is live at Commanders HQ in Ashburn, where the team is wrapping up day 2 of camp. And you know, Chick, we know there's a lot happening during camp, not just what we see on the field, but off the field as well. You look disappointed.
Yeah, hold on, Lorenzo. Hold on a second, okay? As fashion conscious as you are, you can't tell me you guys didn't plan that.
We really didn't. It just, you know.
This was just jump scare. We were wearing similar colors. Hey.
Now, what is this? Purple, blue?
All right.
What team is that?
Hey, listen, if I wanted fashion tips from you, I'd ask you, okay? Just settle down over there, Skippy. All right, look. Yeah, things are going on here. Stop laughing. Day 2, just like the first, Dan Quinn said that the practices would amp up. So yesterday they went 75 minutes. Today they went 92. But who's counting? Well, we're counting, of course. So today was about focusing on the red zone aspect of this one and also the 2-minute drill, because those two things are very vital when it comes to an NFL team and in games. So look, here's the deal. Of course, we can't show you the 2-minute drill in the red zone because we give away a game plan. But once again, they worked very efficiently. Now, last night, I saw this team going through walkthroughs during our 6 o'clock live hit. So for fans who think, the 90-minute practice or a 75-minute practice is a short one, think again. I asked the head coach to give us the full rundown of the team's day.
Pre and post practice, a lot of individual skill work. And then after practice, some will have a lift or a conditioning. Then we start the afternoon special teams meetings, offensive, defensive meetings to review what happened out at the practice field. Then we transition team meetings with me, and then we start the whole process again. More special teams, offensive meetings to install for the next day. So the afternoon consists of meetings to install. The PM is jog throughs to get that right, so then we can execute that the next morning. So think of the day shifts in the afternoon into the next day, and it's all a lead up to this morning's practice. And then we'll go review it and then do that process again.
So you, the fans, now know how that all works out. I want to give you a little insight there. One of the things that the Commanders will have to get better at is the run game, like get one. They didn't really have any last year, even the threat of it. Sam Cosmi understands the league and how pass happy it is, but for the love of all that is right in football, man, run the dang ball.
Running the ball just complements it. It keeps the defense true. And so if we're able to do that, it just helps not only us, but it helps the offense, helps just everything. So, yeah, that's why, I don't know what our percentages were last year, but I think we're last in the league for attempts in rushing and then, one of the highest in passing. And you saw where that got us. So, yeah.
I love him. What a great end to a soundbite. So, yeah, that's his way of cursing without cursing. Sam Cosmi. Coming up at 6, more on the Commanders. And Jayden Daniels is not doing something that star quarterbacks will tend to do as rookies, and it's earning the respect of the guys in that locker room. And one-on-one later on at 6 o'clock, it's going to be the brand new Papa, Daron Payne. Big smile on his face. He talks about being a father and about coming out of the decades of darkness and certainly the Ron Rivera regime. That's all coming up at 6 o'clock. I don't have anything with.
All right, guys. So you heard what they had to say. What Dan Quinn was talking about, going over red zone and the 2-minute warning aspect, which the Washington Commanders had trouble all last year scoring in the red zone. If you go back to some of the Philly games where we could have beat Philly twice, we had trouble scoring in the red zone. There was a lot of opportunities, and because with the offensive coordinator with Eric Bieniemy, he wanted to pass instead of use the run game a lot more in the red zone, in which Sam Cosmi also talked about the run game, which I want to do some pushback on it because the Commanders did have a run game. We just did not run the ball enough. And when the run game was effective, we did not stay with the run game. Because if you look at some of the games where Brian Robinson was feeding the run, he was getting a lot on the run game. And him, Antonio Gibson, and we go away from it. We go away from it and just go back to passing the ball down the field. And it hurt us because we was more successful running the ball and play action where we were just sitting back there just chunking the ball down the field, where defenses just sat back and just say, hey, well, they ain't going to run the ball. Because if you look at the year before when we had Scott Turner, we ran the ball a lot. And then we threw out of that. So we ran the ball more. And that was Brian Robinson's first year after coming back from a gunshot in his leg. So we took a step back of running the ball last year, but in some games when we did have success running the ball, it helped us, but we didn't sustain it. And that's why our attempts were so low and we was last in the league. Now this year, we have a threat of a quarterback to run the ball out of the backfield or scramble to make plays. And you got two running backs, Austin Eckler, and you got Brian Robinson, and you got Rodriguez back there also if he makes the team. So now you have the perception in your head to where, okay, we don't want Jayden Daniels to run out the backfield, then they're going to have to spy us. If you look at what Lamar Jackson does in Baltimore, if you look at what Patrick Mahomes does in Kansas City, even Josh Allen in Buffalo, those quarterbacks they pose so much of a threat to run where your defense doesn't know where you're going to get hit, because Baltimore, to me, is probably the number one running team in the NFL because of the threat of Lamar Jackson and the running backs that they have back there. And now that Lamar Jackson is broadening his game, passing more, now it's going to be hard to really figure out how can you play against a Lamar Jackson. And I see the same thing in Jayden Daniels, which Jayden Daniels could throw. We already know he could run. Now he could throw. So teams going to have to play us differently. They can't not play us the same way they have played us in the last 2 to 3 years, thinking that, they don't have a quarterback that can get the ball down the field, so we could just load up the box because we know they could run. Nah, that shit ain't going to work this year. You know what I'm saying? Because Jayden Daniels will carve the hell out you. He will carve you where he's going to make you pay. And then when you stop focusing on him, then you got a Brian Robinson and you got an Austin Eckler that's going to pound you to death, get some chunk yardage and everything like that. Now, I did want to cover something yesterday about the first day of training camp where Terry McLaurin said something pretty substantial, is that he wants to build his yak yardage. And with that being said, Terry wants to, most likely he wants to play in a slot or in a short game, because what's going to happen is going to give him another dimension to get run after the catch. Because if you think about it, the dynamic of Jayden Daniels is going to help so much where Terry's game is going to go a whole different route, where you're going to have to throw deep to him out there because you're going to have Jahan Dotson. You're going to have De'Ami Brown if De'Ami Brown makes the cut. Luke McCaffrey out there and whoever else we get, or if we end up getting somebody like trading for Brandon Ayuk, Terry could play that slot, come across the middle because he's a really good slot guy. And run after the catch is going to be easy for him because he's going to pick up. So he's trying to change his game as well to where he was just being a vertical guy, you know what I'm saying, a lot more. So, and then like I said, you could use a De'Ami Bryant on Jahan Dotson and McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, and not Austin Eckler, but Zach Ertz and all of that out there and everything like that. But anyway, back to the run game. Like I said, I do see this team being very aggressive, not so much of an area be enemy aggressive, but more of a running aggressive team to where now you don't know if Jayden Daniels is going to run out the pocket. Because once he does stop running out the pocket, now you're going to have to play up in the box. And guess what's going to happen? He's going to hurt you with the throw. And then if he stops picking you off with the throw, it's going to open so much for the running backs to do a lot of things where Jayden Daniels might not even have to use his legs as much. Because when he does use his legs, oh my God, it's like I said, he's going to be that Lamar Jackson 2.0. Now, I do want to go over some stuff in training camp that they had went over. Plus, Jayden Daniels working with Kliff Kingsbury with his footwork. So there was 2 types of films that they were showing him working on his footwork and stuff like that. And also receivers doing receiver drills. All right. Even in that video already, you seen Emmanuel Forrest also doing some drills as well because cornerbacks have to learn how to catch too, because especially if they're trying to make interceptions. But it's good to see that they do have some defensive backs out there pretty much, going at it and catching and stuff like that. You've seen McLaurin, you see McCaffrey, you've seen Dotson and everything out there. So it's just great to see that these guys are able to do the things we expect them to. Now, the Washington Commanders did try to bring in. They brought in. What's the guy's name? They brought in free agent defensive tackle Terry Starworth for workout today, and pretty much it's probably for depth purposes and because we don't know what we got, so forth and so on. So, like I said, he's just probably a depth guy. He's probably won't even graze the field. He might end up getting cut and be all put on the practice squad. But he's 28 years old. He's been with the Saints, the Colts, the Chiefs, and the Texans. So I don't look for him to be no more but a depth personnel. Now, Jayden Daniels also in practice today, he did throw a nice pass to Jahan Dotson, which Jahan, he caught it with one hand and everything like that. So I think that you're going to see a lot more Jahan, and you're going to see a lot. To me, I think Jayden Daniels is going to have a lot of connections with Terry, Jahan, and Luke McCaffrey, and Zach Hurt, the tight end. He's just going to build all of that up and everything. So I really love what I have seen so far from these guys. But Jayden Daniels, his ability, his throwing ability is just it's crazy, man. I can't really. I mean, like I said, the last video that Jayden Daniels could throw, he could throw. What stood out for me is the precision passing to throw the ball in certain windows. The way he has a certain touch on the ball, it's not like hard or wild or it gets out of his hand crazy. He's just able to do that. Now the last couple of clips that I'm gonna show y'all is his footwork with Kliff Kingsbury. His footwork is ridiculous, man. It's really ridiculous. Um, and then just at the end, he was able to throw the ball right on the money, right in the numbers, right in the chest area. So, like I said, I mean, Jayden Daniels, to me, I know a lot of teams wanted him, but I just knew I said it before even before Washington picked him that Jayden Daniels was going to be a Commander. I didn't care about none of the rumors about Caleb Williams and all of that stuff. I just knew for a fact what it was. And I'm gonna show you the next clip of him in his footwork training with Kingsbury. Yep. I mean, there you have it. I mean, it looks like a lot of things are being done differently in training camp than it was last year. It looks totally different. I mean, the guys are taking it more seriously. It's not, you don't have all that playing, laughing too much that I've seen. It looks like everybody are really want to put in time and want to get better and want this team to go in a different direction. You know, last year we all was hyped for it. This year I'm hyped for it, but like I said, I want this team to gel because there's going to be growing pains for this team in the beginning. And don't make no mistake, like we're going to come in the first year. Now, if it does happen, hey, I'm all for it. It did it with the Texans. So you got a guy like Kingsbury over there. You got a guy like Dan Quinn over there. They going to put in the time and energy, and then you could tell that the players feel different about it. I mean, look at Deron Payne. Look at Jonathan Allen. Their attitude. They don't even have the same attitude that they had last year. You know, dealing with a negativity coach like Ron Rivera, a screaming ass coach like an Eric Bieniemy. You know, it just all works out because they showing you. And then the thing about it is, Ridgeway Doom they was sitting there with it was going over Jonathan Allen and Coach Daryl Tapp was still chatting after practice. They was going over some stuff, you know, pretty much looking how they want to be able to you know, get better. And then you had Dan Quinn said that Ryan Kerrigan, the Commanders all-time sack leader, and the new and now the assistant linebackers coach has been integrating to Jamin Davis' development at the end of the line rush this offseason. So Jamin Davis is going to look a lot differently. You know, and even though Nikki Javala, she also commented on the defensive line between the two reps between Ridgeway and DL coach Dal Tap, show him techniques with his hand placement and assistance. DL coach Sharif Floyd adjusting his feet. So even though Ridgeway was good, but I think Ridgeway is going to play his best year because you got coaches that looking at you got the skill set, but when you have using certain techniques, it's going to bode well for you. So like I said, I'm very excited to what this training camp looks like. I will continue to bring more footage and commentary along the way throughout training camp. Day 3 is today, and then they head into the weekend. With that being said, guys, continue to like, comment, subscribe. I'm going up to 65K, trying to hit that 7K as quick as possible. Continue, like I said, continue to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I will do my best to bring a lot live footage and great commentary about the Washington Commanders. It's great to be alive, man. Great to be alive. But until then, this your boy Livewire Sports Media, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.